Hi Joanna, I have looked over your lesson plans and here's some feedback for you. Overall impression, these are very good lesson plans. I am impressed with your depth of planning, and I think your hooks demonstrate a good knowledge of who your students are and where they're coming from. And I also appreciate the fact that you broke the writing process down. You really chose to tackle one concept, one activity for one class. And then move the students smoothly and transition them into the next one. But I think that's good, rather than trying to tackle the entire paper in one class. So let me show you some particular things that you did well that I'd like to continue to see you. I'd like to see you continue doing them in future lesson plans. Sorry about that. All right, so your desired results section is well aligned. You've chosen all throughout this unit. You've chosen the evidence outcomes that fit very well to the lesson plans that you'll be doing, and your students will understand and be able to are well aligned as also, so that your students know that they're going to be thinking about and working on one big concept for the class. Okay. Formative assessments look good, and they look like they really will help you to understand what the students are, where the students are going, where they're coming from, and if there's any place where they're stuck. Of course, summative assessment would be the essay. All right, love the use of color in here, love the creativity that you're bringing into the classroom as you're getting the students to generate ideas. And I also appreciate the fact that you've got 4 different comparisons and that you're asking them to choose the 2 they felt they had the most to say with. I think, again, that shows that you're thinking about your students and what it is that they would be interested in while still working towards the evidence outcomes, and I really like that. Your second lesson plan here, again, your desired results section is very well aligned. And I'm glad that you're having them do the conclusion paragraph. As I was reading through this lesson plan, it really made sense to me why you were having them do this. After all of the comparisons, thinking about the so what piece. You may need to help give a little bit more direct instruction about warrant, although you know your students well, but warrant tends to be one of the most difficult places for students in writing. It's just not something that they're very used to doing. I thought your hook was hilarious too. Nicely done. I think that good sense of humor goes well with your personality in the classroom. So then you have them doing the writing towards their conclusion and towards the big so what. Your third lesson plan, is it this one? Yes. Then you have them on towards writing the thesis. And I like that you held this back for a while until they've done a lot of pre-writing, a lot of pre-thinking, a lot of so what pieces. And so in here, I like that this is a cool exercise again. It gets them used to writing, gets them used to thinking about having a claim and about saying something with some purpose, and then I like how is this the one where you gave that to, yes, so that you had this diagram for writing a thesis statement. That's nice, and that's that piece that we've talked about, adding that concrete element to those abstract ideas as quickly as you can, and I think this is a very nice concrete element that does not do that doesn't force the students too far in one direction or the other, but then again provides a nice, a nice framework for some of those students who are a little bit more reluctant in writing, right? So your last lesson plan here is where you have the students doing the revision, and this is an interesting choice. Looking through essays for active and passive voice. It clearly, right, that's in very well aligned with the evidence outcomes, and I like that you did a little bit of work too towards getting them to understand why, what active voice is, what passive voice is, and why you want to get that passive voice moved out of there. I'm glad that you have a little differentiation here because while this seems so straightforward, oftentimes to us English majors, right, some other kids might struggle with that a little bit, okay? This may need, obviously I know that's anticipated student answer, but you may need to do a little bit more convincing in this section right here. Passive voice exists, people use it often. in their speaking, and it's not that it's bad, but to give our papers life and keep the reader entertained. I'm not sure that active voice necessarily keeps readers entertained. I think I would like a little bit deeper explanation on that, a little bit better reason for getting them to work inside the active voice. But other than that, this is a lot of this feels like editing to me. I know that you have them think about their sentence ideas in terms of active passive voice, but you may need to go a step farther in their revisions, getting them to review the connection of their ideas, all the way back from their pre-writing into their final draft, and seeing if those ideas really indeed came through as being all connected to each other. So you may need to do a little bit more on the revision work on this one, so that it's not just editing for active passive voice or syntax errors. Okay, thanks.